Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Coach Chris Wilson here with Coach Tonya Fines. She's a holistic health expert, easy for me to say, and I'm a strength coach by trade, but I've been around exercise and health and fitness for almost as long as you have now, over. Geez, almost 50 years combined. Yeah. I know, sounds like a lot, but it is a lot. So I think we know a thing or two about exercise's impact on your state of mind, on your mental well-being. And number one being, like, for those of you watching who might have clicked on this video because you saw depression in the title, and I myself have never dealt with it personally, but I've definitely been around people very close to me who have dealt with some form of depression for some length of time. And have you as well?
Yeah.
Or,
yeah. Yeah.
And what's your insight into that state of being or that state of mind, and tied or linked to exercise or to movement?
Well, I think when this whole topic for me is about, like, creating or living a lifestyle that supports not just our physical health but our mental health, and one impacts the other tremendously, and we know that there's scientific research that supports it. So life brings stresses. Stresses can increase our anxiety, and anxiety left untreated can ultimately become depression, wherein medical intervention is needed. So some people actually need to see a healthcare provider regularly and be medicated to help them cope.
Yeah.
But what we do know is that being active, not athletic active or high performance athlete active, but being active, having an active lifestyle, has a tremendous positive impact on your brain in many different ways, to make your coping mechanisms better, just to create a better state of mind, greater clarity, relaxation.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So it doesn't mean that you can you will never get depressed, or somebody will never get depressed. But this is increasing your chances of happier quality of life.
Yeah, absolutely. And you already said it, in terms of its ability, I think, to release certain things or certain chemicals in your brain. One, and I'm sure people have heard before, that a release of endorphins.
Yeah.
So
the happy chemicals.
The happy chemicals. They're actually, those are things that we get sometimes from certain foods we eat. We get this release of endorphins, but we're actually coming at it from a physical nature. So the more active you are in your day, whether that's early in the day, midday, or late in the day, and doesn't matter what activity it is, whether it's a walk or a jog, a swim, a bike, some form of weight training or resistance training, anything like that can have this feel-good release response. And I think there's a little bit of a momentum there, or something that you can build towards if you incorporate enough of that in your life regularly. Over time, I think it's cumulative.
Yes.
I think absolutely it'll help you fight against this chronic state of feeling depressed or feeling down and out.
Yeah. Yeah. This heaviness that comes with that kind of, we know that with lack of exercise and poor nutrition we can put on weight, but also, you can think of stress as stress builds, and we get that anxiety, so we kind of like create this heaviness and weight in our minds that makes us feel heavy.
Yeah. Constant worry or doubt or agonizing over things, and that's kind of our second, good second point, is you're taking your mind kind of out of that state.
Putting it somewhere else.
You're putting it somewhere else. You're dumping your energy, your mental energy, into what physically you're doing, or what you're involved in. So it's just such a great release and such a great outlet to go. And I mean, geez, I can't tell you how many times I've worked with somebody who's never, maybe they were even anxious or had anxiety about something that we were going to do physically in a workout, working in like a one-on-one situation or with a small group, but then once they got to do it and they saw that, oh, this is fun, like kicking
good.
or punching a heavy bag or something for someone who's never done that before, or doing a certain weight training movement that they'd never done before, but they did it and they felt good about it. They felt empowered. Now that's their focus now. So their focus is completely off whatever was maybe on their mind or troubling them outside of that instance or that particular workout, and they got to really just feel good in that moment. And we need more of those moments.
Yes, vacations from that.
Yeah.
Just little midday vacations.
Yeah, a break from reality and all the the got to do's and to do list and all that stuff. So yeah, that's just huge. So another thing would obviously be, you don't typically see someone maybe who's clinically depressed or chronically depressed that has major confidence, right? So usually a great lack of confidence is more of a trait that you'd see someone who's typically in a depressed state of mind. So the confidence that you get from being more active, being more and I'm not just talking about the way you look in a mirror, aesthetics and stuff like that, or physical appearance. Yes, that's great, and that will help boost confidence, but just how much better you feel about yourself being active and being physical and stuff, and you just feel more independence, especially as you're aging. That just opens up all kinds of things for you, and you can get involved in doing certain things that are activity based.
That can-do attitude, I can do it.
It's just absolutely huge, and so very important, and things that I experienced, as I'm sure you did, when we worked with in a fitness environment, or a gym at a gym capacity, when you're working with someone one-on-one, and you see them almost transform from a kind of a shy, you see it. There's maybe shy and kind of reserved, and then you see this new person kind of generated from this activity that they've now committed to, and then so after a period of months, they're like a changed person. And I'm not saying that it's always going to work that way if you're in a really bad state or severely depressed, but I have to believe that it's going to open up some doorways for you upstairs and help you.
Absolutely. When just to kind of build on that, when I working one-on-one with clients, it never failed. The ones that stuck with that kept working the program and kept challenging themselves, all of a sudden they would see themselves differently. They'd look in the mirror and see themselves differently. And I had a really great conversation with one of my clients when I was living in New Zealand, and I said, she was talking about this, and she was buying her clothes and feeling great, and she was joining teams and stuff. And I said, it's really interesting that you see yourself differently, you think and feel about yourself differently, and is it because of what you see is making you feel better here, or you're just feeling better, so your brain, this perception interpretation has changed. Like, what is it? But they're connected.
I think it's both.
You can't deny the connection.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that kind of stuff. It really is terrific. And if you're passionate about, physical activity and exercise, it spills over into all phases of your life. The way you approach work, the way you approach family time and stuff like that. So I mean, it seems to improve just about everything. And then socially, people can find healing in being more physically active. I mean, how many times when you go, I would see the group class environment, whether it was like a Les Mills type class, when they were all doing body pump or something, but how much enjoyment everybody got, and they were rooting for each other, and you felt a connection you're like a part of a team. And I think it like we said, boosts your confidence. It also brings you out of your shell, and it makes you more of a social creature. And we are social creatures.
We are.
People, I think, are just so much happier or more content in life when they feel part of something. Part of something bigger than themselves. That whole team, that whole team approach to the way we have a team approach atmosphere here at work.
Yeah, very much
People
so.
that are part of sports teams, they the sport that, yeah, of course they want the individual accolades and they want to perform well individually, but the big picture is how can my impact make us all better?
Contribute.
Yeah, contribute.
We all want connection.
Yeah.
Whether it's a large group connection, or it doesn't mean you desire connection with 100 people. It could be a group of 3 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a hockey team.
Yeah. No,
I'm Canadian, so that's a hockey
that's
team.
Right. That's right. That's right.
It's connection.
That's a basketball team.
Yeah, it's connection, and
Yeah.
a lot of times making connections with people it's really easily made through physical activity, because unlike walking into a room and figuring out or assessing how to make a social connection verbally in conversation, a team or a sport, or like these seniors groups that do the walking in the malls.
Yeah.
I love that. And you
fantastic.
see that, all of a sudden they're talking and they're asking about each other's grandchildren, and it's wonderful. It creates connection.
And it's a domino effect too, right? Because once you get a taste of it, you kind of want more of it.
Yes.
And it makes you, I think, more apt to join and become part of other things.
Yes.
And it all stemmed from just like being more physical, or knowing that, okay, I really should focus on my physical health because I would like to live longer for reasons X, Y, Z, and now all of a sudden I'm part of this group, and then we get together on Friday nights and we all go do this, and then you get friendships out of it, and then it just spirals.
When you're feeling good and you have. Sounds a little dramatic, but a reason to get up in the morning.
Yeah, no, it's not dramatic at all.
And I'm not saying the reason is, I have to get up because I have to go do some exercise. But you get up, you have a reason to wake up because you have a life. You've got a fulfilling life.
Yeah, I think that's great. I love it.
Yeah.
So, lastly, what I wanted to touch on is, and it's already come up, that like coping mechanisms, right? Like, coping with something in a healthier way. And not to say that, if you're prescribed medications and stuff, that you could very well, that's something that you might have to be on for, that you very well need. But, chemically and hormonally, things are off when we're depressed.
Yes.
I think we could all agree on that. There's an imbalance there. And that imbalance can be corrected with prescriptions, but it can also be influenced, right, by our physical state, or by our physical output, our physical activity on a regular basis, and we can actually start to have that internal change in our chemistry, because we're doing something that's just obviously so good for us. The mind-body connection is getting stronger. And I just think there's no way around it. Obviously there's science and studies that proves a lot of what we're saying, but
life experience shows us as well.
we just know it because we've seen it with our own eyes with people that we've dealt with, and we've seen the best of them come out because physically they were giving it their best, and we saw its impact on their state of mind. I mean, I can just, if I want to even go one step further, there was a period of time when I was working with my own mom and training her, and I saw such a shift in her mental. Not to say my mom by any means wasn't depressed, but she definitely had anxiety and stress in her life, dealing with her own bout with cancer, and having dealt with my brother's bout with cancer. And these are things that were really eating at her. But when we were doing stuff with her physically, it shifted her whole outlook and approach to things, and it made her more energized and happier, and put her in a better mental state every single day. She looked so forward to us being together, and I got to really push her, and she would do things later on that initially she was like, no way am I gonna do that or even attempt that, and then I saw just so much great change from her. And so anyway, to say that those two things are not so closely connected, it would be wouldn't be correct. So I hope you got something out of this. Tonya and I obviously really enjoy this topic. As you can see, we've had a lot of personal experience dealing with people who are maybe mentally not in a good place, but we saw the physical activity and exercise really kind of give them a boost and kind of maybe set them on a better track.
Yeah.
And we're going to be bringing more videos like this out for you, and just us having a nice conversation about this topic. So hope you enjoyed this. Please leave us some comments, some questions below. We'd love to hear from you. Give this video a like and click that notification bell. We have a video every single day on our Critical Bench YouTube channel. And be sure to check out this free report in this very next slide.